Hey everybody, Setsith here. Just bringing you a quick guide on Genesis. We're going to jump right into it. I'm going to try and keep it as brief as possible while telling you everything you need to know. So this encounter here is just a named elite and some trash mobs, nothing special. These here, these Genesis hives, make sure you kill them first because they're what spawn the little dudes. So yeah, just make sure you focus those down. Okay, so after you kill all those trash mobs, somebody's got to go across here and farm that node for some reason, that little vein of whatever it is. Once you farm it, the door opens up for some reason, and we can move on to the first boss. Alright, so this is a really easy boss fight. There's not too much you gotta know. He will occasionally pull out one of these little dudes from the ground. You just have to kill them before they blow up. They don't have very much health. He has a move where he stomps the ground and pulls out a spear and throws it at somebody who's ranged. It does quite a bit of damage, so try to dodge it. And then he has that move where he tries to grab someone and pull them to him, and he'll try to follow up with a melee attack. If he pulls you, just roll out of there. And that's it. This guy's really easy. Okay, so it's all pretty straightforward. Fight your way through, kill this mini boss. At this point, somebody on your team has to grab something out of this fountain. Here, let's see if we can see it here. Uh, right there, that little fountain there. If you just grab something out of there, I believe it's a seed, then you can proceed to the next area where we plant the seed and start a gauntlet. And right there, that spot on the floor is where you plant the seed, and that'll start, it'll spawn that tree there, and that starts a little gauntlet here. Dudes will come at you, just make sure you kill them. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so after the gauntlet is over, somebody needs to interact with the tree. I believe they get a branch of the tree or something, but yeah, they need that to move on to the next area. So just keep fighting your way through, killing the trash mobs and mini bosses until you get to this boss. This boss is a little tricky. Uh, yeah, probably the hardest part of this dungeon, I think. You know, I say he's the hardest part of this dungeon, but he's really only difficult if you don't know what to do. Once you know what you're doing, it's a pretty easy fight. So for phase one, you're just gonna want to do as much damage as you can. Just pump out as much damage as possible. He's got a pull like that one move where or that one boss where he pulls you in and does damage. That's pretty much all you got to look out for in phase one. Yeah, so we will move on to phase two. So once you get him to 60% health, he's going to run to the center of the arena like this. There's a circle around him you can see. You got to make sure nobody is in that circle except for the tank. In that circle, the tank is going to have to stagger him by landing heavy attacks. Everybody outside is going to look for these points on the floor, these glowing points. They're going to spawn 3 enemies, and there is 4 of them. So you're just going to want to burn those down as fast as possible, and then the boss arena opens back up, and you can get right back to burning him down. Okay, so once the ads are dead and the enclosure opens back up, the boss has a couple extra moves. He's going to breathe out a cloud of poison that just has like a persistent damage over time effect. You're going to make sure you don't want to get hit by that. He's also got this crazy looking thing, which is like a giant swimming skull with hands just swimming and doing huge damage in a line. That's about it for this phase for what's different. There's not too much. But yeah, that move is scary. Cat. So at 30% health, he's going to do the same thing and, close himself off again. Tank's got to go in, stagger him before he does his move. If the tank doesn't stagger him when he does this, the entire team instantly wipes. But yeah, it's the exact same thing, rinse and repeat. When he comes out, there's only one new thing he does, and that's just he'll like dive under the water and swim around and jump up. And if he hits you when he jumps up, it'll do pretty good damage. Um, but yeah, there's nothing really else you got to worry about. The trail he leaves behind him when he's swimming adds blight, but like, not a big deal. Okay, so at this torch here, the person who grabbed the branch from the tree from the gauntlet earlier, they can now light the torch here and use that to burn away areas that you couldn't access before. Something to keep in mind though is if the person who lights the torch here does any combat, it will put the torch away and he'll have to go back there to light the torch again so that you can do this. All right, so you're just fighting your way through the dungeon. There's nothing, too difficult. Just kill the mini bosses, open some side areas, fight as much as you want, and that brings us to the final boss. And I gotta say, this final boss is a little tricky, but honestly, only if you don't know what you're doing. So right off the hop, the boss is gonna start off with a poison attack. It's kind of like right there, you can see it. What she's doing is she's casting a poison attack over time, and when she's done casting it, it leaves a giant puddle that you can't stand in anymore. So you got to make sure if she casts that on you, you run to the edge of the arena, and then when she does finally finish casting it, you get out of it as fast as possible. Nothing too much to look out for. She's got these little green rolling orbs of poison on the ground. Where are they? Hold up, they'll be spawning any second. There. Okay, so these green orbs, they'll roll around on the floor. The problem is they leave a poison over time effect, but you can't really see it because it's, poison orb, which is green, leaving a green status effect on a green floor. So it's a little tricky to see, but yeah, that's that there. At about 60%, she'll go underground like this. When she pops up, she'll do quite a bit of damage, so just be careful you're not standing where she is when she pops up. Just keep an eye on it. She also spawns, I believe, 2 or 3 trash mobs, so you're just going to want to take those out so they don't burn down your healer. You're going to keep on her, and this phase she'll start dropping these giant boulders. If one targets you in your range, just make sure you get out of the way. Yeah, just, keep doing damage. She's going to go underground, just stay alive, keep doing damage, look out for poison on the floor, and, get ready for her one giant attack that will wipe your team. That's the poison. Where's the giant attack? It's got to be coming soon. Oh, she went underground again. Where's that giant poison attack? It's coming. There. Okay, there's a giant flash beforehand, so you can kind of see that it's coming, and then you can see the poison all over the floor. You're going to have to go hide behind one of those boulders like that, and just make sure you don't get instantly wiped, because that will kill you from like full health. If anyone's on the ground when she starts casting that, they're done for. So make sure you pick them up before that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You just want to finish, beating her up. There's really not much else to this fight, now that you know everything there. So yeah, that's all of Genesis. This is how you run it. I bought this seat for 2K, and I would definitely buy another one. I'm constantly getting expertise upgrades here. You get like 200 gold per boss kill, so you make back a decent little chunk of your money just right as money. Timeless shards sell for a fortune. This is really, really worth your time and money. Don't let it intimidate you. It's not too tricky. But yeah, that's the full guide. Yeah, that's it. That's Genesis. So yeah, do it up, boys. Buy seats for 2K. Totally worth the money, and have fun.